To Eagle football press conference. I'm Coach Clemens. The Eagles went up to St. Joe Central last week and had a disappointing loss, but there were a lot of positives in the night. We're all open to the questions.
I understand that the records with Park Hill is 4-3. Do you think that their records reflect how good of a team they actually are?
Park Hill, we'll be playing Park Hill this week, and they're probably the best team we've played this year. I think pretty much undoubtedly, as far as gifted athletes and talented kids on the field. It's a difficult matchup for us, but it's kind of one of those things where we're good, they're not quite that good, and where we're pretty average, they're pretty spectacular. So it's definitely going to be a challenge for us.
How do you feel about a freshman playing a varsity position?
Well, as far as having freshmen on the field varsity, I've had 2 of them in my 20-some years of being a football coach. Jake Van Dyne is the 3rd. Now he's doing an excellent job. I've never had a freshman quarterback play, and he's doing great, and we look forward to him continuing to improve.
How are you preparing for the homecoming game on Friday?
Well, we're preparing for it just like every game. The thing about football is there are such limited opportunities to play, and there are so many practices per game that every game is a big game. And ours, we don't play 2 or 3 times a week. We get once a week. So we're preparing in the same way we always would. Our big thing right now is some emotional and physical health. We've gone through some disappointing losses, games that we probably should have won, and so we're just trying to get these kids some enthusiasm, get them emotionally healthy, and be ready to play against a great football team.
How important is the homecoming game to the players?
Again, similar type of answer for you. Every game is really important. If you think about how many times, if you're talking 25 times over the summer, and then 15 times before the first game, that's 40, and then 4 practices for every game you play. I mean, you're looking at 60, 70 practices for 9 games. All right, and so every game is as important as the one before and the next one. Homecoming is fun, and that's great. We're in a situation right now at 2 and 5 where we haven't been before, and we're just looking at restoring some emotional and physical health right now.
Going along with the homecoming questions, does the homecoming game affect the way your players are playing? Is it like a distraction, or is it just treated like every other game?
Well, I'll say this, that homecoming at this school is, man, they do incredible work. I mean, I'm amazed every time Stuco puts anything together. It's always top quality, and it's always incredibly well done. Our kids need to focus on Park Hill and what they run offensively and defensively, and I think they understand that and they know that. As far as the game goes and it being a homecoming game, probably the biggest difference between it and a typical game would be the anticipation of a bigger crowd and that kind of thing. So, you always want to win your homecoming game. Ideally, homecoming is about the football game and the alumni coming back to their old high school and watching their old team play and reuniting with one another and things like that. And so we want to do well for all those guys who've played for us in the past, and we want to do well for our entire school community, and we always want to do well for ourselves as well.
Who do you think are going to be some key players on Park Hill that you're going to need to try to stop?
Well, I mean, on defense, number 7 and number 4, the two the two guys who are better than anybody we've seen all year. And on offense, it's their quarterback. They throw the ball well, and they have 5 kids who can run and catch it, and they have a quick back there. So I mean, all of their skill position guys. They have 3 Division I football players on defense, and they've got a lot of college football players on offense at their skill positions. So, they're the most gifted team we've played, bar none. And if we make it all the way to the state championship in Class 5, they'll be the most gifted team we'll see. I mean, they're really, really good, really talented athletes all over the field.
What are the individual strengths of Taylor Baton and Jake Van Dyme, and how might you use them in the Park Hill game?
Okay, well, Jake is a natural passer. He's just got an instinct for it. He's got abilities that go beyond his years of age. He's calm and cool and collected and accurate thrower, and understands the geometry of the throws and just by nature. Taylor's a runner. Taylor's a physical running guy. We believe strongly in our football program that if we're going to win big games and if we're going to win against good football teams, we're going to have a dynamic running game, and then just be able to throw enough to extend drives and get a big play here and there. So both of them are excellent quarterbacks in their own regard. Taylor's a runner, Jake's a thrower.
What O-line adjustments, if any, are you making to prepare for defensive end Chester Graves?
Okay, well, interestingly, Chester's the number 4 I talked about, and he may still be listed as a defensive end, but he's playing linebacker for them, and sometimes he walks up to the defensive end. Big picture is he's really good, but there's 10 other guys out there who can play too. So, we're going to try to block him the same way we'd block anybody else, and we'll pick and choose our times when we want to run the ball his way and when we want to run the ball away from him. The big picture is get everybody blocked and try to move the ball forward.
How many seniors are you losing this year, and how do you think that'll affect the team next year?
Well, if you look at where we're at right now, in the most recent game against St. Joe Central, we started 7 juniors, a freshman, and a sophomore. So we really only had 3 seniors playing on offense last week. So we returned the bulk of our offense back. We've lost a really good senior for the year, and Drew Geiser. And then defensively, we'll lose 5-6 kids. So this is the youngest team we've had in our time here since year 1, when we didn't have any seniors, and I think that it's some of that is showing on the field. But the future looks bright. There's a lot of good football players still here, and there's obviously we always hate to lose our seniors. Thanks for coming. Enjoy homecoming week.